launch is full steam ahead, and the book is getting there. The diagrams are being inserted, the testimonials are being inserted. What I wanted to ping you about, or anybody else that's on the phone that's gone through the book process, what I'm learning is it's always fun doing new stuff because you walk around and you step on a minefield and then you back up and go, okay, don't step there. And it's just a mere flesh wound, thank goodness. So experimentation is fun and exciting for me. Yeah. So what I'm learning in the book world is there's publishing, and there is where's my friggin' notes here? There's publishing, which may or may not include for formatting, which gets into royalties, gets into shipping costs. Yeah, free copies for you, the author. We'll give you 10 free copies. It's like I don't know if that really matters in my decision making process. But anyway, I'm learning all that stuff. The second area is the order fulfillment. So who's going to hump these books to the post office? Is somebody going to do that for you, or are you going to do it yourself? I hate doing stuff myself, quite frankly. So I don't have enough time to do stuff myself. So I'm always, grabbing somebody else to do it. And quite frankly, they do it a lot better than I do, even if it's shipping books, right? Yeah. And then the third area, the big one, is marketing. Yeah. And so if you look at the folks out there that are helping to self-publish and order fulfillment and marketing, there's a zillion of them, and they're all over the board. So I'm slowly collecting the right questions to ask as I'm interviewing these folks. I have some time because I'm still building the course. I'm still building my gamified course, which is the Hero's Journey. And so everything's moving in the right direction. I don't know I haven't put together a Gantt chart yet because I still don't know. I know what I'm doing. I just don't know the duration of each item. So my Gantt chart tells me, my gut Gantt chart tells me I'm probably end of April or something like that. But the book marketers are going to have something to say about that as well. Yeah. So my question to you, this is the long prelude, sorry. My question to you is, what was your experience? Who did you go with, and what was your experience on book publishing and marketing and all that stuff?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we've been learning. I've been put through the ringer.
I feel so good. I mean, that's bad news, but I feel so good because I hear you, brother.
It's been over a year of researching. What we launched with in December is not what we're just transitioning. I got poor Claudia. She set us up with this beautiful custom Shopify store. And then 3 weeks before we launched in December, we realized that the shipping was going to be a massive issue. And so we had to pivot 3 weeks before the launch and switch to this other platform called Air.io. There it is there. Which is a partner of IngramSpark.com. So now we've long story short. So I'm going to just answer the questions short. A lot of the companies that are hey, we'll help you self-publish. We'll get you, 39,000 distribution partners. We'll get you on Amazon, all that sort of stuff. Most of them, the majority of those companies go through IngramSpark. They play the middleman, so they're going to charge you a lot of money. My suggestion is get a designer that formats your whole book, have them go through the process of setting your book up on IngramSpark. Before you publish the book, make sure you order yourself some copies so that you can make sure that the formatting looks awesome. We had the issue that because our launch was so tight and we had to pivot and all these things, we didn't get our books before the launch. And so we had some issues that we had to revamp, which cost some extra money. So IngramSpark is basically, they will, when you upload to IngramSpark, that puts you through 39,000 distribution partners. What that means is bookstores all over the world can find your book, put it in their bookstores. You can also build a store that people can go and they can order your book, and IngramSpark does all the printing and distribution. Their prices are decent. If you're selling say a $15, $20 book, I mean, you might make $8 a book sort of thing. So IngramSpark it's a complex beast. Make sure you don't put yourself through the pain of being the one to set up your book. Get your son to do that. So if you're looking for like a real relationship, so we've pivoted. Our shopping cart just yesterday went live. We found a company out of Canada. There's very few of these companies, at least in Canada, that exist that actually do printing and distribution and have a warehouse and all that sort of stuff. So we're partnering with Blitzprint. They are the friendliest, kindest team I could possibly imagine working with. So they're doing all of our printing and all of our distribution, and the shopping cart system that Claudia built us in with the Shopify. There's a Shop WP plugin for our WordPress site. Is beautiful. It's custom. So every time a Shopify, an order for a book comes in, we get that. We can customize all of the receipts and all the things that happen. And then that automatically gets sent to Blitzprint, and Blitzprint gets the order and they ship out the orders for us. This is rare and wonderful. So our profit margins increased exponentially on our books because of the relationship with Blitzprint, because Ingram Spark takes a cut. And if you're selling on Amazon, you got to give Amazon a massive discount. You don't make much money if you're selling on Amazon, if you're selling books. And then if bookstores are buying your book, there's also massive discounts that they get. So those are some issues that you're going to come up against. Yeah.
So Ingram Spark.
Yeah.
You have somebody printing and shipping your book. What is Ingram Spark doing then?
Ingram Spark. So
they get the word out.
If people go to magickids.com and they order books, they're ordering those books through our Shopify store. We get the money. We pay Blitzprint. Blitzprint then ships and distributes. If somebody searches our book on Amazon and they order our book through Amazon, those orders automatically go through Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark takes their cut. Amazon takes their cut. And then we get paid through Ingram Spark. If a bookstore, there's like a global catalog for bookstores to go and search a book. Let's just say like somebody in New York goes to a bookstore and they're like, hey, I want Robert's book. That bookstore would go, they would go into this like database of all the books. They would see your book. They would get their wholesaling discount, which is typically between 35 and 55% off the cost of the book. They would order through there. Ingram Spark would pick up that order and ship the book to that bookstore to give to the customer. Ingram Spark would pay you the money that's left over.
Okay, perfect. So I'm seeing two different, parallel free ways of printing and distributing. So Blitzprint is printing the book as well, and the book that comes out of Ingram Spark and the book that comes out of Blitzprint basically looks the same. So you gave Blitzprint something that was formatted and ready to go, right?
Yeah, and with Blitzprint, the quality is probably 20% better than what Ingram Spark is doing. Ingram Spark is massive. They're huge. They do the printing for most published authors around the world. Whereas Blitzprint is like, it's a totally different scale. Our prices are lower going through Blitzprint than they are Ingram Spark, because there's so many people that are taking a cut if you go through Ingram Spark, especially if you go through one of the middlemen. We're like, we'll format your book, we'll do all these things for you, we'll give you 10 copies. They're taking a massive cut, of what Ingram Spark is going to take. I will say, like, the setup process at Ingram Spark it's not simple and straightforward. It's archaic, and it was very frustrating for our team, but now we've learned the system and we now know what to do, but it sucked. It's not an intuitive system.
Right. So, and it's sounding like to me that on my website, I could just sell the books directly from my website of anybody that shows up. I don't have to send them to Amazon or send them to Ingram Spark. And then I just take my orders and send it over to Blitzprint, and I'm off and running.
Yeah. If you want Blitzprint, I can introduce you to Kevin, who's the CEO there. If you go with Ingram Spark, which you might want to, just so you're searchable in places like Amazon.
Well, I can do both, right?
Having both is great. So even if you decide not to go with Blitzprint, you can still set up your own shopping cart, whether it's Shopify or a different shopping cart. You can take the orders and then you can upload those orders to Ingram Spark manually, and those will just get done. So you get 300 orders, you just go in and you spend a minute per order and or get somebody to do that. And those can be done, and Ingram Spark will ship them out and all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
But you'll make more money if you're not going through Ingram Spark. But once you get set up in Ingram Spark, it is if you just want it to be on autopilot and you don't want to have to do as much, Ingram Spark is definitely like a solution, and it'll get you on Amazon and in bookstores and all that sort of stuff. Got it.
Okay. And you were saying that a $20 book where you make about $8 on Instagram.
Yeah. And for marketing, I have, let me see here. So, I mean, this needs to be a whole.
Oh, I bet.
Let's see. So these are all of the things that we're doing that I've got like a team working on for selling Magic Kids books. So we're building a catalog that we're reaching out to independent bookstores across North America, or we will be, with our catalog, encouraging them to order through us. And we're creating a bunch of reasons is like, why order through us versus your big online bookstore? So next is press kits, sending out press kits to media across mostly just Canada so far. Social media. So I've got a social media guy that's doing all that, and he's reaching out to influencers. We have our first big influencer partnership. We spent $3,000 and they did like 2 story reviews, a brand review, and they've got, I think, 6 posts coming out next Tuesday and Friday about 2 different stories. So we're going to find out, like, how does this work for somebody that has 125,000 people and they're doing like these big reviews? It's just an experiment. We have a huge market here on Salt Spring Island, so we're doing a market booth, getting our meditations and stories on apps. So we're on 1 app or 2 apps right now. I have a book that I just finished writing called Dimples, which is the story of a golf ball's life story, telling his life story. So I'm hiring somebody who's going to be reaching out to golf courses all over North America. So for you, your book's about leadership, having a salesperson that's reaching out to companies to sell them, buy 6 books for your executive team or whatever. That's probably a good strategy. This one isn't relevant. I mean, giving away books is great. I mean, if you can budget giving away a couple hundred books straight out of the gate to targeted partners who would hopefully become clients, it's like you have to sell a lot of books to make a living as an author. For Magic Kids, our business plan is to sell a lot of books. This number is inaccurate. We're working on the actual numbers right now. If we sold 12,000 books and we printed 20 stories over the course of the next year, we would not be nearly profitable enough. We have to sell way more books for our business model. For your business model, your book is leading to something bigger, like a high-end consulting, high-end workshops. Like that's your foot in the door to these companies to hire you to do your work. So you want to leverage the generosity of giving away the books with like a solid follow-up strategy of like, hey, we sent you the book 2 weeks ago. Have you guys read about it? Do you want to like set up a 60-minute call where we can go through some of the fundamentals, or sent you the book, here's the survey, like planning out your funnel for when you're giving away a book, that there's follow-up to lead people down a path. And then, creating your newsletter and all that sort of stuff is another great marketing piece. So these are all of the things that we're doing with Magic Kids over the coming, starting now all the way through this year. By the end of the year, we should have a lot of data to tell us what's working.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. The book is basically the business card for me. However, the book is going to be complemented by the online course. So there's a couple of moving pieces all happening at the same time. And I think it'll, if nothing else, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. But I do think it'll be profitable. I'm not, if I make a bunch of books and I make a few bucks on the side, that's great. I think most of my money will be made at the online course.
Yeah.
and somebody dipping their toe in the pool and going, let's get on the phone. I'd like to know a little bit more about what you can do to favorably impact my middle management folks. So great. Okay. Thank you for that download. It's very much appreciated.
You're welcome. Yeah, publishing, whole other beast. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Well, I think you just saved me a bunch of heartache. So thank you.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.